Guys, I am here today to tell you about the books that I have read for February 2021. These are going to be my historical Christian fiction books and then obviously biblical fiction. So last month I accidentally went ahead and started telling you about this one, and I didn't read it in January. I actually read this in February. It was the very beginning of February, so I accidentally put this one in. It is The Mark of the King by Jocelyn Green. If you have never read any of her books, you're really missing out. She writes amazing books, and this one and the few others that I have read take place in the colonial times, but they revolve a lot around France. This one was excellent. I have not read any books by her that I don't like so far, so I'm really impressed with that book. This one I'm actually going to pass by because it was not a Christian book. I don't recommend it at all. There was a lot of language in it. So after I had posted this review, I went ahead and got rid of the book. Okay, so my next one is actually a self-published book. It is called Leah Unloved, Unnoticed, Unwanted, and Unloved by Amanda Bedzra. We actually read this in my Readers of Biblical Fiction book club for February, and it is a look on the tale of Leah from Leah's perspective, which is really neat because, you always sort of think, well, poor Leah, and, maybe that she stole Rachel's husband, but this actually gives you a really good glance at possibly the feelings that she was feeling herself and the betrayal and the hurt. So this is actually a really great book, and I'm glad that I found out about it. Okay, my next one is for a Goodreads book club read, and that was Vying for the Viscount. This one was funny. This one was lighthearted. It was a Regency romance, and it actually had me laughing at the very beginning because honestly, the main character, Bianca, when she first met Hudson, she was on his property. He had never been to his house before because he grew up in India, and now he's inheriting this mansion. So she's in his stables like she always is every day, taking care of the horses, and he comes upon her and it scares her to pieces, and she fights him off with her shoe. And not only that, does it run him off because he thinks she's crazy. And then the best part is when he's hiding in the woods, he sees her come out back from the barn looking for him, wielding a pitchfork, and it just showed just how much spunk she had, and it made me laugh. So if you guys want a really cute Regency romance, I would definitely suggest this one by Christy Ann Hunter. Okay, the next one is A Dance in Donegal. Guys, this one is so sweet. I really loved it. This is actually a debut author with Rebel. It's Jennifer Dable, and it takes place in Ireland, obviously, and it is an excellent book. It really has so much Irish heritage in it, and there's even a glossary in the book because there are so many Irish words. So this is actually a really fun book, and I really enjoyed this sweet little romance, and I can't wait to see what else this author is going to be writing soon. Okay, the next one is Washington's Lady. It's a novel about Martha Washington by Nancy Moser. I really wasn't completely into this book. It was really depressing to me. It told everything from her point of view, but she experienced so many deaths. I'm sure that that's what happened in real life as well, but it was very depressing. So I just personally didn't enjoy this one. It was just a little too sad for me. Okay, the next one was The Messenger by Siri Mitchell. This one is about a Quaker girl, and it's set in colonial times. And she becomes sort of like a spy messenger, sending secret notes back and forth through the jail because her brother is actually in jail. So who would, expect a Quaker girl to be passing these notes? So it was a good book. I was disappointed in the ending, honestly, because it left a lot of loose ends to me. Like, she didn't make up with her parents. Did they get married? I mean, like, there was just so many ways it could go. I know it was left to the imagination, but I sort of like it to be spelled out for me. So that one was good. I gave it about 4 stars. Okay, The Stranger by Jennifer Jennings. This one is the first one in the Rebecca series, and I finally started reading this series. This is my last series by her until she comes out with her new one. And this one is when Rebecca meets Abraham's his manservant, and he comes, and she waters his flock and whatnot, and he gives her the jewelry and asks her if she would come to wed Isaac, and she does agree. So this one was a really neat one. Okay, I've got 2 on here, Georgiana's Secret and The Preacher's Bride. Georgiana's Secret was so cute. I really liked it. This one was actually for a book club on Instagram, and it is through the Ladies Literacy Society. This one's really cute. Basically, the girl Georgiana, she poses as a boy aboard her father's ship for protection, and she ends up falling in love with one of the men on the ship. It's a really cute one. The Preacher's Bride by Jody Headland. This one is about the Puritans. It wasn't exactly what I was expecting, but it took place in the 1600s. It was a really good book. I'm not really sure. I didn't have a whole lot of feeling towards it, so I think I gave it about a 4-star for that one. Okay, the new one from Suzanne Woods Fisher, The Moonlight School. This is a standalone, and usually when I think of her, I think of Amish stuff, and I used to read a lot of her books when I liked Amish books, but this one has nothing to do with it, and it actually is based on real events about how, I believe it was in Kentucky, people in Kentucky in the early 1900s, there was a lot of illiteracy in Kentucky in that time, and a woman, she ended up, I believe her name was Cora, she ended up being able to open up the schools in that one county during the night, and thousands of parents would come, thousands of adults would come at night to learn how to read. And it made for a really good story, and I really liked how it actually was based on real events. Okay, this next one was actually an audiobook that I listened to, The Shenandoah Road. This is a great book. It's a sweet romance. It takes place during the Revolution. I mean, you really don't even have an incredible amount of romance in this book. It's totally clean. Your kids can listen to it. There's barely even a kiss. And they get married, but the most part of this book is finding forgiveness and redemption and becoming aware and understanding about God and Jesus' wonderful gift. So this was a very Christian book, and I really liked it. Because of this book, I actually started rereading Romans because it's read through the book. Okay, these 2 are also audiobooks. Janice Cole Hopkins wrote When Winter is Past, and It All Started at the Masquerade. These are both set in colonial times, and they are super cute. I really like her writing style. If you haven't listened to any books or read any books by Janice Cole Hopkins, you're really missing out. They're so adorable. They have very sweet romance. They're not overly detailed on anything, it's clean read, and she is Christian. I really enjoyed them, so if you have never listened to her, give her a try. I know the covers aren't the greatest, but the stories are wonderful and they're really well written. Okay, the next one is A Bound Heart by Laura Franz. I love Laura Franz because I love colonial stuff, and she is like the expert of colonial books. So this one is really neat. I really enjoyed it, especially because I am a redhead, but also because it takes place in Scotland, and then it ends up going into colonial America. It is a really fun read. Basically, the entire story is about it's not like a baron, but like a landowner, a very special landowner in Scotland. He had a castle and everything, and he lost his title. The girl on the cover, she ends up being convicted for murder, and they both get sent off to be indentured servants in America, and they find their way together. And it is so neat. I loved it. I would have never thought of a story like that, so I really enjoyed that book. Okay, this one was actually not anything that I've read yet. I just wanted to go ahead and post about it because I'm really looking forward to Jewel of the Nile. Okay, this next one, Love's Pursuit. This one is a tearjerker. I read this actually while my daughter was getting her teeth worked on. It's by Siri Mitchell, and it had such a sad ending. I was not expecting it. I am more like for a happy ending kind of person, and this one was heartbreaking to me. So unless you really like sad stories, this one might not be for you. That one actually was enough to make you cry. Okay, the next one is The Number of Love by Rosanna M. White. I don't usually read anything for World War I, but this one just intrigued me when I first saw it, and I love how they really captured the essence of everything on the cover. How she keeps on saying 18, and even right down to what she's wearing, because even in the book it tells that she was wearing that belted sweater kind of dress, and it's really, I love how they really incorporated it. But she is a numbers person, and she sees and hears numbers everywhere, and because of that she is able to decode messages from the Germans that come over to America that they find. So it's a really intriguing book, and that's actually a series. So this is the first one. Okay, the next one is The Weaver's Daughter. This one is by Sarah Ladd. I've never read any of her books, but this one was excellent. I really loved the whole entire story. Her writing style was great, and I believe that it took place in the Industrial Revolution time in England. So if you haven't read that one, check that one out. Okay, the next one is A Cord of Three Strands. This one was really cute. It was a colonial book. It had a lot of strong biblical values in it. It was a really sweet kind of romance, and it was a really great book about coming back to God after you kind of strayed. Okay, the next one is the second one in the Rebecca series by Jennifer Jennings, and it is The Journey. Now, because she has said yes to this mysterious stranger, she is on the journey to find Isaac, and it switches point of view between Rebecca and Isaac each time during the book. So this one was a really good one. I'm looking forward to the third one. Okay, Full Steam Ahead by Karen Whittemire. This one's a cute one. I really like Karen Whittemire. She has a really uplifting, sweet, kind of quirky and funny kind of way to write romance. And this one is a really cute one. She's a girl that is really great at math, and he's a scientist, and he needs a whole lot of help. So they end up working together, and it's just a really cute idea. Okay, these two, the Pelican Bride and then the Blue Enchantress, they're both colonial and they take place on the sea. Partially. The Pelican Bride is basically when they brought over brides from France to Louisiana, and the Blue Enchantress is by Mary Lou Tyndall, and it's all about pirates, and they are both really great. I really enjoyed the pirate scenes. Honestly, between both of these, I like the Blue Enchantress the best. Okay. The next one, I don't know why it's not bringing up. Let me see if I can get it to bring up over here. Okay, here we go. Melanie Dickerson, The Healer's Apprentice. This one, if you guys have never read Melanie Dickerson, she makes amazing medieval books. This one is a retelling, I believe, of Sleeping Beauty, and it is the first one in the Haggai series, so you have to read it. They're great. Rain by Dana McNeely. This one is a retelling of Elijah the prophet, you know, the one who was fed by ravens and called fire from heaven. That one was a great book. It just came out. It's the brand new one, and it's from the Whispers of the Wind series. Okay, and then Les Miserables, I actually was able to finish that one, and my last one, The Crown of Rosemont, which was a medieval book. I'm sorry I had to rush through this, you guys, but I have a few seconds left. But these are the books that I read, and I really hope that you enjoyed them. I love them all, and thank you so much for following me. And thank you so much, and look forward to next month.